All right, cool. We're recording. If you would all mind kind of muting yourselves. And welcome to our Jedi warrior training for today. If you need a couple blocks, those are always welcome. And I usually like to start sitting on my mat. Oh, my name's Mike. I am Jedi Warrior Mike, or Jedi Master, we'll call myself. Welcome all Padawans and masters themselves. So we'll begin on our mats in a seated position to start centering our inner force, our inner prana. And just kind of come seated to your mat. Relax your hands on your legs. Find your sit bones. Stack your spine, one vertebra on top of the other. Relax your neck and just chin parallel to the floor. And just notice your breath. This is a great practice for to center yourself. And with any warrior training, we're all peaceful warriors. And that doesn't mean that we don't give into things. It just means we choose how we act instead of react to the situation. We do this by centering our inner force through our breath. Notice you're breathing through your nose. Notice your diaphragm moving down, maybe the cool air coming in and the warm air moving out. And I'll lead you in a few rounds of 4-4 balanced breath. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. Place your right hand on your chest and left hand on your abdomen. And repeat to yourself if you'd like. This is a little different than normal. I am one with the force, and the force is one with me. I am one with the force, and the force is one with me. And we find our Ujjayi or Darth Vader sounding breath. None of us are on the dark side, I hope. If that is, no judgment, because there is no judgment in this area. And we'll start with a couple rounds, 3 rounds of our fire breath, all right, to really fire up our inner chi or inner balance or inner force or however you want to call it. So remember, this is a short exhale through your nose, like a sneezing sensation, all coming from your abdomen, right? We feel our diaphragm moving in and up to force the air out through our nose. And the diaphragm relaxes as the air just falls back into our lungs. We'll do 3 rounds of 20 about. I'll do the counting. You worry about the breathing. So inhale fully, feeling your diaphragm moving down, back to the side, rib cage expand outward, shoulders rise gently. Everything falls back out, reversing that exact motion. Belly button in and up to get all the air out. Inhale halfway. And exhale, 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 exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, breathe normal once again. Remember, we're doing that. Your face and shoulders are relaxed. The only thing active is your diaphragm. Inhale again fully all the way in, feeling that same thing we did before. Reversing the motion, shoulders down, rib cage moves in, diaphragm in and up, belly button in and up. Inhale halfway. And exhale, 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 exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. One last round coming up. Inhale all the way, nice and deep, diaphragm down. Feel your shoulders rise gently. Shoulders fall, rib cage comes in, diaphragm in and up. And inhale halfway. And exhale, 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 exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Relax. Breathe normal once again. And I'm reminded by words of Master Yoda. There is no try, do or do not. And I know that's confused me for many years, but recently I finally kind of understand it. When we try, we have an underlying choice that we've already made instead of actually committing to something. And so I'm going to ask you to do things or not to do things today. And that does not mean we don't attempt them. It's just like jumping out of an airplane. You either jump out or you don't jump out. So you either choose to jump or you not. And it's okay if you, not exactly perfect. We just give it our best effort in anything we do today. So finding our breath, let's flutter our eyes open and remove the block from underneath your bum if you had it there, and find our way to tabletop. Plant your hands underneath your arms or your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes in the back, move your hands slightly ahead of your shoulders, and lift your hips up to the sky for our first downward facing dog. Good. We're gonna go ahead and pedal your feet out. Just notice your hamstrings. I know mine are usually tight in the morning. I don't know what time it is for everybody else, and everybody looks wonderful so far. Remember to kind of turn your armpits in like you're trying to move towards each other. And we press into the ground with our arches and domes, something I always remind myself of, so that we're supporting our wrists and our shoulders. Good. Shake your head yes and no. Yeah. And on our next breath, let's go ahead and bend our knees, look forward, and take tiny little baby steps, tiny, 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 walking towards the top of our mat. Tiny, small little steps, keeping your knees bent as much as possible, as much as you need to. And then when we reach the top of our mat, just go ahead and wiggle your hips side to side, relaxing your head and neck, maybe keeping your fingertips on the mat just to press. Remember, we're kind of just pressing with their fingertips. And then grasp opposite elbows and relax your head and neck fully. Good. And when you're ready, come to just a nice relaxed hanging position. Just hang there. Notice your hamstrings. Notice if your thoughts are going somewhere. And that's part of Jedi training, is to notice and be aware of where our thoughts are going. Are we here or are we somewhere else? Because reality is where we are. Go ahead, place your hands on the mat, and then slowly from your hips, start to roll up one vertebra at a time, stacking your vertebra one at a time on top of each other. And roll your shoulders back and down and let your head stack on top of your spine. Palms are face forward. All right. And then we find our grounding with our feet. So lift your toes up fully, and then placing one toe down on the mat at a time. Really pressing to the ground, especially with your big toe mound. And then you feel your pinky toe contact the ground. You feel those 3 points: pinky toe, big toe, and then your heel. Shoulders bowing back, looking forward, engaging your glutes, your core, your hamstrings, and your quads. Very active position here. On our next inhale, raise our arms out and up, look up, palms together. And exhale as we hinge forward, slight back bend as we place our hands back down on the mat. Inhale to flat back, and exhale, sending your feet back to plank. Let's hold plank here just for a sandwich, just for a couple bits. Find your breathing, really press the ground away, feeling your shoulders protracting. Okay, and as you do that, you feel your core engage. Good. And as we do this, we're going to go start to lean forward over our hands. Good. And bend your elbows as much as you need to as we lower down, keeping the elbows hugging in, and then pull your chest through your arms as we go into upward facing dog, rolling over your toes, letting the tops of your feet come onto mat. Good. Engage your glutes here. And then on your exhale, press the ground away, rolling over your toes, lifting your hips up to the sky, engaging your core. We find ourselves in our downward facing dog again. Now we're a little bit more open here. So really press the ground away. Good. Pulling your lower belly in. We find our 4-4 breaths. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody's down dogs look beautiful. Take your gaze forward, bend your knees. You can walk, step, hop, or float to the top of your mat using the force. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, raise your arms out and up, look up, palms together. And exhale, release to mountain once again. All right, we're going to go through that one breath for each movement this time. And we'll do that a few more times just to get our body really warm. So inhale, arms out and up, look up, palms together. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to flat back. Good. Exhale, send your feet back to plank. Then lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Excellent. And each time we do our down dog, we find a little bit more space. We find our positioning a little bit better. I usually like to remember to pull my lower belly in, which allows me to straighten my back. That's something I always remember to do. And then relax my head and neck. Good. On your next exhale, look forward, bend your knees, hop, step, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, engage your glutes, look up. And exhale, release the mountain. All right, one more, sun A. Inhale, arms out and up, look up, palms together. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, send your feet back. On the same exhale, you're lowering to your half push-up. Then you find your inhale as you press forward into that upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Very nice. Pairing breath with movement. It helps us keep focused. And sometimes that's our anchor. So take your gaze forward, bend your knees. Go ahead and hop, step, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms out and up. Look up, palms together. And exhale, release your arms to your side. Good. We're going to take it a little bit further now. So place your feet together. The rest of the Jedi warrior training. So we're going to be doing lots of warrior today. So send your hips back, bend your knees, fingertips on your mat. We find our first chair pose of the practice. Inhale, arms out and up, look up, palms together. Really pull your lower belly in right here. Yeah, we want to make sure, take a gaze down at your toes, make sure you can see them. If you cannot see them, move your hips back a little bit further. Remember this position because we're going to come to it a lot today. And on your exhale, fold forward, fingertips on your mat, straighten your legs. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, send your feet back to plank. Good. Same exhale, lower to half push-up. Inhale, pull your chest through upward facing dog. And then exhale. Yeah, inhale up to downward facing dog. There we go. I messed up my cue a little bit. That's all right. Good. Let's take our next inhale. Bring your right foot between your legs. Flatten your back foot. And raise your arms up for our first warrior one of today. Make sure your hips are square to the top of your mat. So really feeling this position. Really pull your lower belly in. Press forward into your right knee. Shoulder blades are down your back. Maybe you're gazing up. Really, both legs are strong. On your next exhale, fold forward, place your fingertips on the mat. Without making a noise, if you can, bring your right leg back, lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale your left foot between your hands. Good. Flatten your back foot. Raise up into your warrior one position here. Good. We're warming up. We're feeling our hips nice and square. So a little something I like to remember is externally rotating my left hip, internally rotating my right hip. Allows me to square a lot better. Good. Pull your lower belly in so we're not dumping into our lower back. And then on our exhale, fold forward, fingertips on the mat. Bend your foot back to plank without making a noise and lower to half push up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Good. Find your 4-4 breath here. We're going to add on as we go through with each of our sun bees today. So be mindful of the cueing. So we want to stay in the moment. Look forward, bend your knees, hop, step, or jump to the top of your mat. Good. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, send your hips back, bend your knees, fingertips on your mat, and then raise your arms up for our chair pose once again. Good. Let's stay here for a few breaths, really warming up our legs, and our body starts to talk to us. Now, it depends on what we focus on. We focus on our legs shivering or shaking. They're saying, oh, please stand up. And then you're like, no, it's okay. I'm going to focus on my breath for just a little bit longer. Good. On your next exhale, go ahead and release the standing. Arms down by your side. We find our mountain pose once again. Good. Adding on. Feet are still together. Send your hips back. Bend your knees, fingertips on your mat. Inhale, arms out and up. Look up, palms together. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, feet back to plank. Lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Good. Next, inhale, bring your right foot between your hands. Flatten your back foot. Raise up to warrior one. Let's stay here. We're staying here. Find your warrior one position. Nice and tall. Good. Very strong warriors. Everybody looks very strong. Good. Engage your core. Now take your arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, palms together. Inhale, open your chest up. And we're taking this forward. So on your next exhale, bring your chest towards your right knee and bring your shoulder to the inside of your right knee. Your right shoulder is on the inside of your right knee, and we're finding ourselves in a humble warrior. As Jedi, we are very humble. Good. Relaxing your head and neck, really sinking your hips. Everybody looks strong. It's okay if you lose your balance or really strong legs here. Lower your hips. See if you can lower your hips a little bit further. Yes, excellent. Nice adjustment to everyone. Beautiful. On your next inhale, rise back up into warrior one. So release your arms, raise your arms back up into warrior one, hands together. And exhale as we fold forward, fingertips on your mat. Fingertips on your mat. Send your foot back to plank. Lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, your left foot between your hands. Flatten your back foot. Raise up to your warrior one position on this side. Good. Remember to square your hips off. Engage your glutes. We're really firing our back leg, pressing and engaging our front leg as much as possible. On your exhale, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, maybe the weird thumb on top this time. And go ahead and inhale, open your chest, and exhale, folding your shoulders towards the mat, keeping your shoulders as square to the mat as possible. This time, your left shoulder inside your left knee. Good. And sink your hips. Keep your shoulders as square to the mat as possible. Everybody looks awesome. Really strong, huggable warriors. Very nice, Jackie. Very nice, Laura. Good. Relax your head and neck. Maybe you're looking back at your back toes. Good. On your next inhale, rise up with strength and then release your hands back to warrior one. Good. Our hips are nice and square. And on your exhale, hands on the mat, send your foot back to plank, lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, hips up to the sky. Downward facing dog. Good. Find our breath here. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look forward, bend your knees, hop, step, or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold. Send your hips back, bend your knees, fingertips on your mat, arms out and up, look up. Good, we have our chair pose once again. We're gonna stay here just a little bit longer this time. Let your legs talk to you a little bit more, and you can either listen or you can be like, nah, it's okay. Again, we're training our focus and attention. Just like a muscle, we need to work at this as well, especially as Jedi masters. And on your next exhale, release your arms to your sides and stand tall. Wonderful. Let's add on once again. Feet still together, plant or hips back, bend your knees, fingertips on your mat. You find our chair pose again. Inhale, arms out and up. So there we go. And exhale as we fold forward, fingertips on your mat. Straighten your legs, send your feet back to plank, lower to half push-up. Good. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, roll over your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot between your hands. Once again, flatten your back foot, raise yourself up into warrior 1. Nice hips. Our hips are very square. Beautiful positioning. Excellent, Lawrence. Very strong back leg. Great, Patricia. And from here, interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale to a nice tall spine. Exhale as we find our humble warrior once again. Feeling an opening a little bit more in our hip flexors, maybe our hip. I feel this a lot in the inner thigh. And let your hips drop a little bit lower this time, a little lower than you think you're capable of, just a little bit. Good. Now here's a fun transition. Like I said, we're adding on. Now, if you want to, you can release your hands to your sides, or we can keep our hands up. We're gonna go ahead and pivot onto our left toes, pivot onto your left toes, and then start leaning forward. Lean forward into your right leg, and then finding our left leg feels really light as we lift ourselves up into warrior 3. Now you can keep your hands on the mat if that's okay, if that works better, or you can challenge yourself, reaching your hands behind you, squeezing your shoulder blades, and find our balance in warrior 3 here. And breathe as if nothing's going on at the moment. We find our 4-4 breath here. Trust your body, square your hips to the mat. And on your next exhale, with control, lower your left foot behind you with control, and then release your arms as we come back up into warrior 1. Yeah, nice transition, everybody. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat. Good, send your foot back to plank. Lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, lift your hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Now, of course, we have 2 sides, so we're working on the second side, left foot between your hand on your inhale. Rise up to warrior 1. Good. Rise up nice and tall and bring your hands behind your back. We find our humble warrior once again. As we exhale, lower your shoulder on the inside of your left knee, if you can. Beautiful, keeping our hips, keeping our shoulders square to the mat best we can. We're really strong legs here. And you know where we're going with this. So if you want to, again, you can release your hands or you can keep them here. Start to lift up slightly so our back is nice and flat. Pivot onto your right toes this time. And then lean forward into your left leg, and feeling lightness in our right leg. Flex your right toes. Good, excellent. Everybody looks so strong, wonderful warrior 3s. And it's okay if you fall out, because when we fall out, we learn something. And next time we actually stand a lot better. Good. From here, go ahead and slowly, with control, lower your back leg onto the mat and rise back up into warrior one. Releasing your hands, nice tall spine. And on your exhale, lower back down. Bend your foot back to plank, lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Excellent. Good. Find your breath here. If anybody, at any point in time you wanna find your child's pose, that it's totally open to you. I know this is a lot of work we're doing with our arms and our legs, but everybody's doing so awesome. All right, next exhale, look forward, bend your knees, bring your jump, hop, or step your feet between your hands. Inhale to flat back. And exhale, send your hips back, bend your knees, fingertips on your mat. And rise your arms up for our chair pose. Good, nice and tall, engage your lower back. Our legs should feel a lot stronger right now. We're like more relaxed as we breathe here. Notice if your breath becomes erratic, especially in some positions like this, where your body says, hey, this is a little uncomfortable. And then you're like, no, it's okay. I'm going to breathe this uncomfortable. Good. On your next exhale, release your legs, release your arms to your side, standing tall in our mountain pose. Good. Adding on. So shake everything out just a little bit. Shake everything out just a little bit. Good. Here we go. So adding on, feet are together. Send your hips back, bend your knees, fingertips on your mat. Inhale, arms out and up. Look up. Now we're going to take this into a little chair twist. So keeping your hands together, on your exhale, bring your palms to the outside of your right leg. Inhale, tall, back to your chair pose. And exhale as we bring our hands to the outside of our left leg. Yeah, we're just kind of swimming back and forth. So inhale, back up. And exhale as we bring our hands down and twist to the side. Inhale, back up. And exhale, hands to the outside of your left leg. Inhale, back up. Last one, exhale. Inhale, back up. And exhale. Inhale, back up to chair pose. Exhale, hands to the mat. Straighten your legs. Send your feet back to plank. Good. Now, if you want to add a chaturanga, you're welcome to. Go ahead and lower to chaturanga, or you can go right to upward facing dog or downward facing dog. Good. Next, inhale. Once you're downward facing dog, bring your right foot between your hands. Right foot between your hands. Good. And flatten your back foot. Inhale all the way up to warrior one. We're going to find ourselves in a little warrior one to humble warrior flow. So from here, you got your nice warrior one. Exhale, hands behind you. Inhale as we straighten our back. Exhale, fold to humble warrior. On your next inhale, raise back up. Release your hands back to warrior one. On your next exhale, release your hands to your back. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale as we fold to humble warrior. Next inhale, rise back up to warrior one. And then our exhale, release your hands back. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, fold to humble warrior. Good. One last flow like that. We move with our breath, all on your own, finding that nice breath, all on your own with your breath. Yeah, find yourself in the humble warrior. Once you find yourself the humble warrior, stay there. Stay in your humble warrior. Good. Just feeling your nice openness. From here, release your hands to the mat. Release your hands to the mat. Good. And from here, flatten your back. And let's find ourselves leaning forward again. So lifting up onto your left toes, lean forward into your right leg, and we find ourselves in our warrior three. Now, again, you can place your hands at heart center. You can place your hands out front. Place your hands down by your side. We're going to play with balance here. So no matter where you have your hands, just not you can have them behind you as well. On your next inhale, bring your your left knee to your chest, raise up into standing, and then extend your left leg forward. We find balance. Bring your left knee into your chest, extend your left knee behind you as we find our warrior three once again. We're going to flow here for a few times. So bring your left knee into your chest, inhale to standing, and release your leg out front. We find our extended leg pose. Good. Bring your knee back into your chest and lower into warrior three. Now go ahead and do that same sequence all on your own without my cueing. Do it with your breath. Stay centered and relaxed as we go through this. Our balance lets us know where our mind is. Once you find yourself back in your warrior three, we're going to bend into our right leg and slowly lower our back leg onto the mat, find our way into warrior one again. Good. Exhale, hands to the mat. Go ahead and send yourself back to plank. Lower to half push-up if you want. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now we have two sides, so we're going to take it on this side. Inhale, left foot between your hands. Good. Rise up to warrior one. From here, we're doing our little flow here. So same idea. Exhale, release your hands to your back. Inhale, open your chest to the sky. And exhale as you fold forward into your humble warrior. Good. Inhale as you come up and rise to warrior one. Exhale, hands behind your back. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, fold forward your humble warrior. On your next inhale, rise up, use your legs here. Good. Exhale, hands behind your back once again. Inhale, open your chest. And exhale, fold humble warrior. Good. Follow your breath this next round, all by yourself. I'm not going to cue you. So follow that exact motion with just your breath. Notice your breath. Notice how when you focus on your breath, your body relaxes, no matter how much it's talking to you. Good. Once you find your way in the humble warrior, stay there. Stay there. You know where we're going with this. Maybe we release our hands, or we can keep them there and find our way to our warrior three. So place your right toes on the mat and lift your right leg up. We find ourselves into warrior three. Again, finding that balance, finding your balance. From here, bring your right knee into your chest this time. Lift up on your inhale. Extend your right leg in front of you. Nice, strong core. Bring your leg back in and bring yourself back into your warrior three as we extend our right leg behind us, keeping our hips square to the mat. Bring your knee into your chest, lifting up tall. Extend your right leg in front of you. Bring your knee into your chest when you're ready and extend back into warrior three. Good. Do 2 more rounds on your own, just like that. Really finding your balance. Notice how your body's moving. This brings complete awareness to our body. The wonderful thing about balance, it takes a lot of our attention. Good. And after you complete 2 rounds, stay in your warrior three. When you're ready, let's go ahead and bend into our left leg, place our right foot on the mat behind us, raise ourselves back up into warrior one. And on our exhale, release our hands to the mat. Send ourselves back to plank. Lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Before we go into our next round, everybody bend your knees. Bend your knees, place your knees on the mat, put your big toes together. Spread your knees out as wide as your mat. And walk your hands forward, and we find ourselves in the child's pose. So send your hips back to your ankles or your heels, and just find yourself in a child's pose and find your breath. We're preparing for our next little part here. Everybody's doing wonderful. Just notice your breath. Notice where your thoughts are going. Go ahead and walk yourself forward once again. Walk yourself forward once again. Good. Lift yourself back up into your downward facing dog. Good. And then we're going to hop, step, or float to the top of our mat. Good. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, send your hips back, bend your knees, fingertips are on your mat, arms out and up. We look up, we have chair pose once again. So on your next exhale, release into mountain. Release into mountain. Wonderful. Good. All right, let's take it a little bit further now. So bend your knees, send your hips back, place your fingertips on your mat. Inhale, arms out and up. We're going to find our chair twist once again. Chair twist once again. So on your exhale, bring your hands outside of your right knee. Inhale, back up the center. And exhale, left to the left side. Inhale, back up the center. And exhale, hands outside your right leg. Inhale, back up the center. We're using our core to twist here. So we're really not bending forward, still staying in our chair pose. And then inhale, back up. Exhale, rotate to the side. Good. Keeping this twist from your core. Excuse me. Okay. And when we get back to our right side, place your left elbow onto your right knee. And then place your hands in prayer. And we're in a chair twist. So squeezing your elbow or squeezing your hands together, pressing your right knee into your left elbow. Look down, make sure your knees are in line. Make sure your left knee not going in front. And from here, here's a funky transition. So really centering ourselves. So place all your weight as much as you can into your right leg, feeling lightness in your left leg. Bring your left heel up to your bum. Make sure you have your gaze downward. It always helps. Send your left leg behind you, flatten your back foot. We find ourselves in a revolved side angle. Yeah, beautiful. Everybody's got it. Remember, breathe here. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. One thing I like to do on this is I really like to open my side. So my left side, I'm going to feel that more open. Now, another funky transition. Staying strong, staying strong. On your next inhale, see if we can bring our left foot back to meet our right foot, and then release the chair pose. On your next exhale, send your feet back, fingers down to the mat. Yep, inhale to your flat back, and exhale, feet back to plank. Lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now a little bit different this time. So inhale your right foot between your hands. Good, flatten your back foot. And cartwheel your arms open to a warrior two. So now our hips are open to the long edge of our mat. Hips are open to the long edge of our mat. We're really feeling our shoulder blades down. Look at your right front knee. Make sure it's sitting inside of your right toe. Okay. So nice warrior one here, or warrior two, sorry. And from here, keeping it strong legs, again, externally rotate your right leg. Internally rotate your left leg. From here, reach forward. And on your next exhale, reach back behind you, bringing your right hand over your face, sliding your left hand down the outside edge of your left leg, reaching back for a reverse warrior. Now it feels like a nice side opening on our right side. Good. And on our next inhale, bring everything back into your warrior two. Okay. And from our warrior two, reach forward and place your right elbow on the knee onto your right knee. Reach over with your left arm for side angle. So maybe from here, if we want to take it a little bit deeper, we slide our right hand down the outside edge of our right leg, and we place our fingers on the ground, cup-caking our hand, twisting so we've got a nice opening with our chest. Now we're going to do a little flow here. So from here, inhale back up into warrior two. Reach forward on your exhale. Inhale as we reach back for our reverse warrior. Go ahead and release back to warrior two. Reach forward. Place your elbow on your knee or hand on the outside edge of your pinky toe. Reach over for our side angle pose. Sink your hips down. Good. Rise yourself back up. Move with your breath here in that same flow. Nice reverse warrior. And again, see if you can move only from your core. See if you can keep your legs as stable as possible. And we're just moving from the core. Beautiful control. I love it, Patricia. I love it, Lawrence. Great, Laura. See if you can open your chest up a little bit more to the sky. Ivana, beautiful lines. Beautifully, beautiful. Very nice, Sarah. Keeping that side body open. And when we get back to our warrior two, we meet all the way back in our warrior two, cartwheel your arms down to the mat, hands down to your mat, send your foot back to plank, lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing. Now taking it to our other side. So inhale your left foot between your hands, left foot between your hands this time. Go ahead and yes, plant your back foot and cartwheel your arms up into warrior two. Now, some of you may be facing away from the camera, but you know exactly where we're going with this. So from here, nice flow once again. Reach forward and exhale as we send our right hand to our right leg, sliding down our leg, reaching up. Make sure we're not pressing on our leg. We're using our core to stay here. So if we're pressing, we're not doing it the way we want to. Good. From here, go back to warrior two. Reach forward, find your side angle. Again, elbow on your knee or hand outside. Reaching up, opening our chest. And we cartwheel back up into warrior two. Good. Back to reverse warrior. And we find that flow. Again, see if we can keep our legs as strong as possible on this. Moving just with our breath. Beautiful. Just okay if you fall. One thing I've noticed about balance is illusionary. We just go ahead and we fall less and less, and our falls are smaller and smaller. Beautiful. Everybody looks so strong. Great warriors, great Jedi warriors today. Good. Once we find our way back to our warrior two, let's meet back in warrior two. On your next exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Send your feet back to plank. Lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, hips up to the sky, downward facing. All right, from here, look forward, bend your knees, hop, step, or jump to the top of your mat. Good. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, send your hips back, bend your knees, fingertips on your mat. Now, we're going to just stay right here in our chair pose because we're going right next to the next thing. Inhale, arms out and up. We find our chair twist, but we're just going to go ahead and exhale our right elbow to the outside edge of our right knee. Or sorry, left elbow to the outside edge of our left knee. Go ahead and open your chest up, just like we did before. Place weight into your right leg this time. Send your left foot back so we find our reverse side angle. From here, take your left hand, release it, place your left hand on the mat, and from here, pivot your left foot, so it's on the pinky edge side. And we slowly start to walk our right foot back, back, back into a side plank. So engage your core, really pressing through your shoulder blades, pull your core in, your obliques. Beautiful. If you want to, you can raise your right arm up to the sky. We just stay here and breathe in our side plank. Now with control, start to lower, if you can, and lift your right leg up. See if you can find your way into blaster, or we're going to start raising our right leg up and bring your right foot down to the mat, out in front of you. Place your hands on the inside of your right foot. And we find ourselves in a little blaster pose. Go ahead and release your left knee to the mat, untuck your left toes. And let's just open up our hips here. Start to pull forward with your hand. Maybe walk your right toes more forward. Make sure that the heel's either in front of your knee or in line with your right knee. We're just kind of feeling a nice opening of our hip flexor, nice opening of our right hip. Good. Now go ahead and tuck your toes in the back, lift your knee up off the mat, and place your left heel back down to the mat, and let's cartwheel ourselves back open to warrior two. So cartwheeling, our hips are nice and open to the long edge of our mat. And let's just do one more flow with our side angle. So go ahead and reach forward. Exhale as we reach our right hand over our head. Slide your left hand down your leg for reverse warrior. Reach forward. Find ourselves in warrior two. And exhale, reach forward once again. Elbow on your knee, or hand outside edge of your pinky toe. Reach over for side angle. Good, feeling a nice opening. On our next inhale, rise back up to warrior two. And then exhale as we cartwheel our arms down to the mat. Send your feet back to plank. Lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Good. From here, look forward, bend your knees, hop, step, or jump to the top of your mat. We find ourselves there. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, send your hips back, bend your knees, fingertips on your mat. Inhale, arms out and up. You know where we're going with this. Exhale, right elbow to the outside edge of your left knee. Press your hands together in prayer. Open your chest up to the sky. Place weight into your left leg and send your right leg behind you for a revolved or reverse side angle. From here, release your hands. Place your right hand down on the mat and pivot onto your pinky edge of your right foot. Walk, 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 and send your left foot back to plank. Find your plank. Nice and tall, core involved here. And breathe with your diaphragm. And on your next exhale, pivot back onto your right toes. Start to bring your left foot back in front of you. Walk, walk, walk. Place your left hand down on the mat. A lot of control here. Lower your right knee onto the mat. Untuck your right toes. And we find ourselves in blaster on the opposite side. Lean forward, pressing into your mat. Kind of pulling your chest between your arms. Letting your hips and hip flexors open up. Very, very nice. Awesome. Everybody looks so relaxed here. I know hopefully you're sweating a little bit and maybe a little more comfortable right now as you're in your blaster. Good. From here, Tuck your toes in the back, lift your right knee up off the mat, pivot so your foot is flat, and cartwheel your arms open back to warrior two. We're taking that same flow. So reach back for our reverse warrior. Slide your arm down, reach up, open your side body. Exhale back into warrior two. Lean forward. We find our side angle, keeping that bend in your front knee. Good. Open your chest up, raising your arm over your ear, and rise back up into warrior two. Good. Just nice side opening there. From here, let's go ahead and cartwheel our arms back down to the mat. Good. And we find ourselves into our vinyasa. Send your foot back to plank. Lower to half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up to the sky. Downward facing dog. Good. From here, look forward, bend your knees. Hop, step, or float to the top of your mat. And it's a little bit different here. Inhale the flat back. Exhale, send your hips back, bend your knees. We find ourselves in our chair pose once again. Now, we've been here before, but here comes the fun part. Go ahead and take your left elbow, bring it outside edge of your right knee. We're twisting. Now, from here, send your hands down to the mat. Send your hands down to the mat. So now we're on a side. We're facing away from our right leg. Go ahead and plant your hands down on the mat. Keep your left elbow in line with your right knee, and plant your hands on the mat. Start to bend into your elbows like a chaturanga. Press your right elbow into your right hip. And from here, maybe we start to lean forward and we feel our legs start to come up off our mat for a side crow. And it's okay if your feet don't come up. You may just kind of sit there in your side crow position and just sort of feeling yourself place weight in your arms. And that's perfectly okay. Maybe you start to feel one leg want to come up. Maybe you start to feel your other leg start to come up. It's okay if neither of your legs come up, because you just learned how to do something a little bit different. Engage your core. Right? And when you're ready, we're going to release, come back up to standing. And of course, we have two sides, so let's give it a shot on our other side. So send your hips back, bend your knees, fingertips on your mat. Inhale, arms out and up, and release your right elbow to your left knee. And same transition here. Take your hands, start to lower your bum towards the mat, plant your hands on your mat, find your twist. This is the reason why we did a lot of those twisting and opening the sides, and start to lean forward, pressing your left elbow into your left hip. Maybe we start to lean forward. We got our nice chaturanga arms, so we're keeping our arms bent, and maybe we feel our feet lift and float off the mat. We find our side crow. Beautiful. And just play there for a little bit. Just notice your body. You got it, Sarah. Yeah. And maybe we just find our twist. We're starting to bring things down. Yeah, right. Yeah, shake your wrist out. It's okay. Yeah, it's a lot of weight on our wrist. And from here, let's go ahead and find ourselves in a squat position. And just sit there. Find ourselves in our squat position. Just kind of wiggle your hips side to side. Now, if you want to release your wrists and hands a little bit, you can lift up and place your forearms between your calves and your hamstrings. And you can give them a nice little massage. Give them a nice little massage. Just kind of like bounce up and down a little bit and massage your wrists. Move your wrists in circles. Yeah. Okay. So from here, let's start to come down to our seats. So rolling onto our back. Roll, roll, roll onto our back. Oops, I forgot almost one thing. Hold on. Wait a minute. There's one last thing before we go. Come back up onto your heels. Let's find ourselves in a downward facing dog. Almost forgot the funnest part here. Send your knees down to your mat. Walk, walk, walk your hands back so you're sitting on your heels. Now, I'm going to lead you through an inversion. This is the last part before we go to Shavasana. Now you can do a headstand if you want, but I'm going to cue a funky headstand. So what that means is we're going to do half forearm balance, half arm balance. So you're going to take your hands. So go ahead and grasp the opposite elbows. Place your elbows down on your mat, keeping that width right there. That's super important. From here, take your left elbow and keep your left arm flat on the mat. So now you kind of like have a forearm on the mat. From there, take your right hand and put it in line with your left elbow. So now we've got our hand on the mat, we've got our forearm on the mat. From here, place your head down on your mat, just like you would in a headstand. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips up to the sky. Start walking your toes in. Maybe we just take it this far today. Maybe we take our right knee into our right elbow, and maybe we switch. Maybe we kind of balance on our right elbow, and we feel lightness in our right leg, and we just stay there. Maybe if we feel strong, we lift our legs up to the sky in a funky forearm, half tripod headstand. Like I said, there's lots of things that we can do here. Just making sure we're pressing with our arms. We're not dumping the weight into our head. Yeah, you got it, Ivana. There we go. And maybe we just find ourselves in kind of a funky tripod. Maybe we extend one leg. You got it. Yeah. And then when you're done playing with that side, let's bring it to our other side. Because maybe one side is always different than the other. Make sure you start off right. We got our elbows, right? And make sure our elbows are staying tight in. You got it. You know where to go from here. Just play. The last part here, and remember, like even if you got this far and your feet are still on the mat, you're still doing the pose. No hopping up. You want to float up. You want to feel when you're strong. So there's no hopping. And it's okay if we fall out. Yeah, there we go. You got it, Sarah. Very nice, Laura. Ivana, I love how you're playing. Jackie, beautiful. Very nice, Patricia. You got it, Lawrence. All right. And when you're done playing, let's find ourselves in a little child's pose just to release. So however you want to do it, you can go knees together, knees wide. Just breathe. Yeah, if you want to, you can also grasp the back of your head and just feel the nice stretch in the back of your head too. And from there, let's go ahead and walk, walk, walk. Our hands up. You can either mermaid your legs outward or you can roll over your ankles, and we find ourselves lowering onto our back for our final resting posture. We did a lot of great work today. Everyone here is great Jedi masters and Padawans. Remember, a master is only a master because they've done more than a beginner. And that's it. That's the only difference. So everybody is a beginner in the beginning, and we're still beginners in the end. Because we have a beginner's mind, letting go of whatever we have a preconceived notion in. And that's what makes a true Jedi. I'll be quiet and let you just feel the force that surrounds you and is within us. Feel the force that everybody is emanating at this moment. And breathe. Slowly, slowly, slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a few wrist circles and ankle circles. Maybe extend your arms above your head. Point your toes out in front of you and feeling a nice full body stretch. Just feeling how much energy and vitality you have in you at the moment. Your next exhale, release and kind of bring your knees into your chest and hug yourself. Give yourself a nice big hug. And when you're ready, rock side to side and find your way to your right or left, doesn't matter. Your favorite side. The other side won't judge, don't worry. And then use your top arm to lift yourself back up into seated, just like we started our practice in. Keeping your eyes closed, just notice the difference from the beginning of your practice till now. Maybe that part that was a little bit tight opened up. Maybe those thoughts that were flying around your brain, they're kind of just floated away like the clouds in the sky. And we'll end with a few rounds of our 4-4 balance breath to send everybody out into the world to be ready to be peaceful warriors, Jedi amongst everyone. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale. Place your right hand on your chest, left hand on your abdomen, and repeat to yourself if you like. The force, I am one with the force, and the force is one with me. I am one with the force, and the force is one with me. May the force be with all of you, and happy International Star Wars Day, everyone. Thank you for joining me today in our Jedi Training Warrior series, and I will see you again on the mat soon. Thank you. Let me stop the recording.